How's it going today, guys? We're gonna go over a greatest common factor problem solving problem. We're just gonna go over one in this video. Let's just start off by reading it. A bakery has 24 blueberry muffins and 36 apple muffins to divide into boxes for sale. Each box must have the same number of blueberry muffins and the same number of apple muffins. What is the greatest number of boxes that the baker can make using all of the muffins? How many blueberry muffins and how many apple muffins will be in each box? Okay. So now that we've read the situation, we want to think about it. I personally like to underline important stuff, so I'm just going to go through and do that. I'm going to say a bakery has 24 blueberry muffins. That seems kind of important. 36 apple muffins. That seems pretty important. Divide into boxes for sale. Each box must have the same number of blueberry muffins and the same number of apple muffins. What is the greatest number of boxes? Okay, so that's one of the questions. What is the greatest number of boxes? I'm going to underline that the baker can make using all of the muffins. So we have to use all of the muffins. How many blueberry muffins and how many apple muffins will be in each box? Okay, so that would be a second question. So there's going to be two parts to this question. So let's start with answering the first question. What is the greatest number of boxes the baker can make using all of the muffins? Okay, so there's a couple key pieces of information in this question. Each box must have the same number of blueberry muffins and the same number of apple muffins. So that's just plain important. That is information that we can't ignore. It kind of sets up a lot of rules for this problem and how we solve it. Now I'm going to draw a diagram over here. This is our muffin box, and I'm just going to say, okay, I know that blueberry and apple muffins need to be in each box. Okay. So now I need to start thinking about, all right, if I'm making boxes of muffins, I need to think, okay, how many boxes can I make? Well, let's start with talking about the blueberry. I'm just going to say blueberry here, and I'm going to say we have 24 boxes. So I'm going to do something like this, just so I can keep things straight. I'm going to say, okay, blueberry, 24 muffins. I can make one box, right? If I make one box of blueberry muffins, there'll be 24. I could make two boxes, and I'm not going to write all of this down, all the things I'm saying, but if I made two boxes, then that means I would have 12 in each box. I could do 3 boxes, because then I would have 8 muffins. I could do 4, because then I'd have 6 muffins in each box. Now, could I do 5 boxes of blueberry muffins equally? Could I divide the 24 blueberry muffins, so I'll just sketch this over here. Could I divide the 24 blueberry muffins into 5 boxes? The answer is no. I cannot do that, right? So 5 is not an option. So this is where we start. We're not thinking about the greatest common factor yet, but we are thinking about factors. So 5 is not a factor of 24, which means we can't divide the 24 muffins into boxes. So 5 won't work, 6 will work. We can make 6 boxes using the 24 muffins. 7 won't work, 8 will work. 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 will work. Now 12 is half of 24, which means anything greater than 12 is not going to be a factor of 24 besides 24 itself, right? So I can kind of see for a minute, I'm only going to do this really briefly. I can kind of see that I have factor pairs, so 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6, right? I see those are factor pairs that 1 times 24 is 24, 2 times 12, and so forth, in case you're not seeing the connection yet to what we're doing. Okay. So now I know those are all my options for how I could divide up the blueberry muffins. Let's switch over to apple. Choose an apple color. How about red? Red's an apple color. And I could say, okay, apple. There's 36. So I'm actually gonna. How about this, guys? I'm gonna bump it down one notch just to keep everything in the clear. Okay. So apples, 36. So once again, I could make one box, right, of apple muffins. Ton of apple muffins, though. That wouldn't be that great. I could do 2, right? I could do 3. These are all factors of 36, so that's how I know I could do 36 divided by 2, 36 divided by 3, 4. I couldn't do 5 again, right? Just writing that out there, just to show it. 6 is a factor. How about 7? How about 8? Not quite. 9. Yeah, 9's 1. 10, 11, 12. 12 is 1. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is 1. 18 is half of 36. So once again, once you get to half of a number, you know there's not going to be anything greater than that factor that's in the middle besides the number itself, so then 36. So now we have to go back to our question because we have all these options at this point. We want to go back to our question. We want to make a box that has the same number of blueberry muffins and the same number of apple muffins. This is confusing. This is a question. A lot of questions are worded like this, but these questions are confusing because of how they are worded. It does not mean 3 blueberry muffins and 3 apple muffins. It means that if you have a box of muffins over here, if you have your box of blueberry and apple muffins, it means that if you have 3 blueberry here and 4 apple there, it means that in the next box you need to have 3 blueberry and 4 apple. Oops. Yikes. 4 apple and so forth. Okay. So it doesn't mean there has to be the same number of blueberry and apple. It means there needs to be the same number of blueberry in each box and the same number of apple individually. All right. So now that means that we have to find a number that we can divide the number of apples, or the number of muffins by. So let's see. We could make one box, right? So let's look at these. We could make one box, and then it would be 24 blueberry and 36 apples in that box, right? Huge box, lots of muffins, great. But that's not what we're going for. We're going for what is the greatest number of boxes, right? So what is the greatest number of boxes we can make? So one box isn't going to cut it. I can make 2 boxes, right? If I make 2 boxes, then I'm going to have 12 blueberry, right? I'm going to have 12 blueberry in one box and 18 apple in one box. So that's great, still not a lot. I could do 3. Okay, that's also a common factor, right? I could easily make 3 boxes, and I'd have 24 blueberries divided into the 3 boxes so that'd be 8 muffins, and then apples it'd be 12. But that's still not the best I could do. I could do 4 boxes, right? 24 blueberry muffins divided by 4 would be 6 muffins in each box, and then 36 apple muffins divided into 4 boxes would be 9. Okay, but still I have more options because over here I have 6 in common, right? So I could spread them out into 6 boxes. Okay, great. How about 8? Could I do 8? No, I can't. Why could I not do 8 boxes of muffins? Well, because my apple muffins, right, 36, I can't divide that by 8, so that's not going to work, okay? That's not going to work. So 8's not going to work. How about 12? I see 12 here, 12 here. Okay, 12 will work. Now, I'm getting a little sloppy. I'm experimenting with this new writing on the screen deal, so you guys are going to have to let me know how this looks. So I could do 12. Now 24 is not a common factor, so that's not going to work. Same with 18, 36, not going to work. So 12, right, the greatest common factor, greatest common factor, GCF is what we call it, is 12, which means we could make 12 boxes. So I'd say, okay, well, blueberry muffins, 24 muffins divided by 12. Okay. Get 2 blueberry muffins in each box, and then the apple. 36 divided by 12. 3 muffins in each box. So this ends up being, so I'm going to say 2 blueberry, 3 apple in each box. And I'm going to have 12 boxes, right, because 12 is my common factor. So let's go back to my question, because there's a lot of different questions that could be asked in these situations. So we want to make sure we're actually answering the question, because a lot of people, once they get the hang of these, they start thinking, oh, I got the greatest common factor. The greatest common factor is 12, so 12 is the answer. Well, not necessarily. What if it said how many blueberry muffins are in each box, right? How many apples are in each box? How many muffins are in each box, right? So it says, what is the greatest number of boxes that the baker can make using all of the muffins? Okay, so 12. The answer to, we're gonna say down here, question 1. The answer to question 1 would be 12. Okay, 12 is the answer, the greatest common factor. Question 2, how many blueberry muffins, right, so I'm going to highlight this one as well just because I'm a highlighter. How many blueberry muffins and how many apple muffins will be in each box, okay? So this would be question 2. I'd say, okay, well, we already kind of figured that out up here. We would say how many blueberry muffins? Well, 2 blueberry and 3 apple. Okay, so that would answer our question. This would be the answer to this question. I do want you guys to know that these are questions that takes a little bit to get the hang of. Finding the greatest common factor is definitely helpful, but I don't want anybody to start thinking that, oh, I'm just going to get the greatest common factor right away, and then that'll be my answer every time, because that won't necessarily work. These problems can be solved without necessarily, knowing how to get the greatest common factor. There's no special method I'm trying to get you guys to memorize right now. But if you see just what I did up here is I essentially made a list of the factors of 24 and 36, and then we just found the greatest common factor, right, which was ended up being 12. And it was a tool, it was something that we used to help solve it. So I hope this method works for you. If you find a better method, definitely let me know. Share it with me. We can talk about it in class. And if you have any other questions or suggestions about this, feel free to let me know.